Didymus, welcome to the SAINTCON Hallway.
Thanks.
What's your name?
Colin Jackson.
Colin Jackson.
Yep.
And then Didymus was earned, given, claimed, other.
So I kind of picked it, and it was sort of SAINTCON's fault. It was about, so I've come to SAINTCON several years, and I wanted to speak or whatever, and they're like, hey, cool, what's your handle or whatever? It's like, I don't have one. And this is in 2016. And they're like, oh, okay, well, do you have a Twitter handle or something? It's like, yeah, this is, 2016. It's like, oh, I had the Twitter handle Boba Fett survived. Should have held on to that. So they're like, that's dumb. You should figure out a handle or
Who
something.
said that was dumb?
I think it was, I want to
Let's
say.
get mad at them.
Let's see, who was over talks? They're 7 years ago.
Why?
I don't know, let's say Zodiac.
Yeah,
Anyway,
sure. Let's blame Zodiac.
Let's blame him.
Zodiac, if you're watching, bad.
But yeah, so I was just thinking of names. It's like Didymus. Okay, that's the Greek word for twin. I'm a twin. I have twin children. I have 3 twins. Okay, I'll go with Didymus. That's fun. And yeah, so, and then there's, Doubting Thomas, right? The apostle or whatever. So I'm thinking, if there's one guy who's like, trust but verify, it's him. His name was also Didymus. I was like, fine. And then hopefully no one calls me Diddy. But whatever. That wasn't a problem.
Especially
that we
now.
knew of. Yeah, that aged well.
How do you? How much baby oil you got at your house, sir?
0, thank goodness.
1000.
This took a turn.
So you brought it up. That wasn't me.
We'll cut this in post. Anyway.
We'll say that, but I'm too lazy to do that. That's not happening.
No, you're good.
Let's go back to twins.
Yeah.
So you are a twin. You have twins. You twin life.
I guess, you could say I have lifetime experience with it, but also I don't know any different. So,
If you make a mini badge, you're making 2 of them.
yeah, that'd be good idea. Yeah. That's the thing. I like SAINTCON is where I learned to solder. More accurately was where I learned to resolder and unsolder, but yeah, I've never made a mini badge or anything. Like when I ran the Lockpick Village for years, I'd always have someone else design it because they were way more creative.
Yeah.
Like the year they had the pins that or the conductive springs. And then the time we had you could see the red pins were the not set, and then the green pins were set pins. And they're way more creative than I am with hardware hacking and designing chips and PCB stuff. So it's like, you do that, I'll run this, I'll do this lockpick thing. I'll stick with the non-technical stuff. So
How many years have you been at SAINTCON?
this is my 7th.
7th.
Yeah. So
First was Weberg? Or was it here?
it was 2016. So when we had the speaker badge, you remember the Narwhal badge where someone hacked it and said Narwhal? That was my first year.
So it was here then.
Yeah, it was.
So
here.
it was our first year here, I think.
It was our first year here. Yeah.
Awesome. And you have done various things here as a part of SAINTCON.
Yeah. So at the time, I was. I had a security background, had a couple certs, and then I got a job after a layoff, and I was a monitoring engineer. It's like, hey, I want to go to SAINTCON. They're like, oh, cool, but you're not a security guy. So we can't approve it. What? Are you kidding right now? It's like, fine, I'll take PTO and volunteer because that's the best way to get involved. So I was like, hey, I'll be a volunteer in the Lockpick Village with, Jimmy Longs, and I think a couple years I presented.
Shout out Jimmy Longs.
Yep. And that's the easiest way. It was like, if work's not going to pay for it, I'll volunteer and do what I can. And then Jimmy Long's like, hey, you seem to really like this. You should take over the village. I was like, okay, fine. So then I did the village for, I want to say 4 years. So 4 of the 7 years I did the village. After the first year, Zodiac came and said, hey, we want a contest. Basically, we want the opposite of the vault. We want something you're breaking out of. So that's when I came up with the idea of Los Santos, which is a lot like Deviant's, Gringo Challenge or whatever back in the day. So I was like, okay, SAINTCON, Santos, let's make something, call it Los Santos. And I was surprised how fun it was because we had an easy and a hard mode. And I think the first year we had 20 people finish it. And then the second year we had maybe 5 people and no one got out of the super hard. I think Keen is the one who got out the last year. And then he's taken it over. So the year after that, he just started doing Los Santos, and now he's over the Lockpick Village and stuff like that. But that was really fun. It was kind of eye-opening how much is involved in doing a contest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I can do a village and a contest. That was dumb. Go volunteers. Volunteers make it easy. So.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your favorite SAINTCON memory in those 7 years?
Let's see. There's a lot of good ones. Lots of shenanigans. Definitely there was one year we did Los Santos, and the way we designed it, we had like the 3-foot high curtain so people could see the room you're locked in. And there was a bunch of students who came, and some of them were like under 18 or whatever. So this kid's like, hey, I want to do Los Santos. It's like, this is the first time we've had a waiver. You have to sign a waiver to do this. So the kid got his parents to sign it, as far as I know. And he's like, okay, cool. And part of the challenge was you have to empty your pockets. Like, you're kidnapped, we handcuff you to a chair, we empty your pockets, and we don't help you for 5 minutes. Like, even if you say, I quit, time's out, we're like, cool, you got 3 minutes. So just sit there and suffer, because everyone's watching. It's entertaining, public shaming. So this kid, he went through all these things. He's like, I really want to do this. Got his parents to sign it, brought it the next day, and he signed up. And he's like, okay, dump your pockets, put it out of reach, and go. So, like, he's handcuffed. And he's like, okay, where am I? So what do I do? I'm like, you escape. You've been kidnapped, boy. It's like, okay, so are you going to give me a key? I was like,
yes. Ask the kidnapper for a key.
yeah. Have you been watching this at all? Like, so the kid's there, and, like, he got one hand free. So, like, he's just stuck to the chair, and he's, like, using his foot trying to kick things off or whatever. And we're all just watching this kid, and I'm just thinking, like, what an idiot. What is he doing? Like, I got pictures of it and everything, but he's like, after 45 seconds, he's like, I'm done. And it's like, cool. Got 4 minutes and 15 seconds. We're all just going to sit and laugh. Thanks for coming to SAINTCON. And I don't know, it was just kind of fun. But it's something like, when you learn to lockpick, I think everyone should learn to lockpick, but, like, you add that level of stress and intensity, and then it's like, oh, man.
Under duress.
I am terrible at this.
Right.
But it's kind of fun.
What's something about you that people can come up and talk to you about that's not tech or cybersecurity?
So not tech or cybersecurity. And so we're saying not lockpicking either.
Sure. Yeah. Not related to the domains and what we do in here.
Oh, I don't know. Lots of things. I love conspiracy theories. They're really fun. Tinfoil hat talks. I enjoy boxing. That's kind of my stress relief. How I avoid security burnout. I like to go boxing. So that's really fun. I used to do obstacle course races like Spartan race and things like that until I got hurt. But I don't know. Just things like that. Just stuff in general. I feel like I could talk about anything.
What's next for you? What do you want to do next?
What's next for me? So, crazy ideas, but you kind of set these bucket lists. And one of the things I've seen is, like, there's some people, like, think of the Nitro Circus guys. They're like, you know what? Let's set a Guinness World Record in something. Let's just think of some random thing and set a world record. It's like, that would be really cool. Or and it was a few years ago, I did a Kickstarter. I made those lockpick collar stays, and I was like, real outside my comfort zone, had to learn new things. I'm going to try to do this weird, dorky Kickstarter thing. And it was really cool once it was done and over and everything. And I just thought, what are some lifelong things I could do? Like, it'd be fun to set a world record in something. I've got a few ideas. I'm not going to say them, but, one of them involves lockpicking and possibly scuba diving, because that's another thing I could talk about forever. I love scuba diving. It's just, I don't know. Something like that. Something cool. Something you can say, like, I did that. Your dad was cool once, kids. Not anymore, but your dad was cool. At least he thought so. So.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you being a part of the community. Yeah. Appreciate all you do. Hopefully you can set that Guinness World Book record that you want to do.
We'll see.
And thank you for joining me in the SAINTCON Hallway.
Yeah, thank you.